What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Eurythmics. And we're returning for another live performance from the 1993 compilation, featuring live performances from 1983 to 1989. Thank you again to Phil. And the next track in the playlist is Sexcrime, originally from the Big Brother soundtrack album. And yeah, this is not one I ever knew back in the day, but it is very much in the stylings that I knew the Eurythmics to be characterized by when I was familiar with them as a single-digit kid, because it has that electronic, synth-pop, new wave sort of style. And yeah, it's a really good tune, one I have re-listened to a number of times. I am, of course, curious to hear how they play it here. Will there be any notable embellishments? Will it be more or less close to the album version? So yes, let's give it a listen. This is Eurythmics, and it's the tune Sexcrime as featured on the live compilation release from 1993. That was awesome. I feel like it is relatively close to the soundtrack album version to aspects maybe stood out to me as being perceptibly different. Number one, I don't know if the bass line has exactly that sonic character as it does here. Maybe it does, and just, because it's a live performance, the balance of the different elements is different. But yeah, it felt a bit more prominent, that rapid fire electric bass line, in conjunction, I think, with the bass guitar. So like synth bass with guitar bass, I think. Secondarily, the guitar, the lead guitar, the regular guitar, that stood out a little bit more than I recall it in the album track. So again, the idea that in a live performance, maybe the live instruments, and I assume, at least for some of the tunes, Dave might be on the guitar, which is further to say, I've seen videos where there's like live performance footage, and I've seen Dave on guitar, so yes, ultimately the guitar stood out to me a little bit more, but this is based on like sonic memory in the moment, which sometimes can get skewed. But yeah, overall it felt like a more or less similar rendition vis-a-vis the album version of the track. But that's a good thing, because I think it is a very great tune, and I enjoy the keyboard parts of the track in particular. They, again, just give it that like new wave, like synth pop / rock atmosphere. And yeah, again, I enjoy the vocals, of course, from Annie. I did also notice there, like at the beginning, it still kind of did the vocal opening from the album track, though already there were more instrument-based sounds happening at the same time, whereas I think in the album track, that vocal, Sexcrime, I think that's like a cappella. But there's a point near the end where it almost sounded like one of those 80s like 12-inch mixes where they like play with the rhythm of the vocals, kind of like, like sampling the vocals and chopping them up and then using them as a sort of rhythmic melody in their own right. So it felt like, again, maybe that was slightly different than the album version, or at the very least I wondered if those were actually like live backing singers, but who were doing this like rhythmic, halting, chopped up delivery to kind of give a live performance articulation of that like 12-inch mix style. Nevertheless, it's a great song, and I think this is a really cool performance, and it's just great to hear them live. And obviously you could hear the crowd at the end. They were very much into that one, and if only I had been lucky enough to be a bit older and to have seen them live. But I've said it before, I feel like I was born at like just about the perfect time as my life now looks back on it, which I imagine for a lot of people, whenever you're born, that's how it feels, right? But yeah, as someone who was able to experience a lot of these 80s groups as a single-digit kid, which again is in part because I had older siblings who were listening to this kind of stuff, my older sister in particular, also because of K-Rock, a radio station in Southern California in the 80s, but then also to be part of the 90s rave scene as a teenager. I just kind of got the best of both worlds, is what it feels like. So anyway, that is my nostalgic waxing for the moment. But yeah, again, it's a really good tune. I think this is a great live performance. Looking forward to the rest of the live songs on this compilation. Thank you again to Phil, and again, once we finish that, we will jump ahead to the album when they got back together, which again is something that I know a little bit about now, having done that documentary watch along, which if you're seeing this and you don't know what I'm talking about, over on my Patreon, and now maybe a couple months ago, I did a reaction to a documentary about the Eurythmics, which was, I think, shot in like the mid-2000s. I forget exactly when it was, but it was after they had come back together to do another album. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you think here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.